an incarcerated individual at San Quentin Rehabilitation Center, San Quentin, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hey.
Hey.
So, I wanted to ask you what life is like in Pelican Bay for those who haven't been there. What's it like for somebody, the bus ride getting off? I heard there's a welcome there that they kind of try and do a show of intimidation and have a speech and stuff like that. Is that true? And what's it like going from the bus to finally getting your cell?
Well, the welcoming committee was more of a Corcoran thing than a Pelican Bay thing. At Corcoran, they used an extreme show of force when you got there. Pelican Bay, not so much so. The ride up there was a long ride because it's up in the far corner of the state. Even the channels weren't even California channels on your TV. The local channels were from Brookings, Oregon. That's how remote it is. But there was a beautiful country, redwood trees and the coast, the ocean right there, and then right in the middle of nowhere, the monstrosity of a giant supermax prison.
And what was it? What did they do? How was the getting from the bus to your cell?
Well, when you would get off the bus, you come off the bus, your legs shackled and belly chained. So you'd get off the bus, they'd take you to these strip-out cages and strip you out.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Take your transportation jumpsuit and give you a new, up there, the SHU, you wore a white jumpsuit. So they would take your orange jumpsuit that you would rode the bus on, give you a white jumpsuit, put you back in belly chains, sometimes back in ankle chains, and then medically clear you and take you onto your cell somewhere in the tomb, and that would be about it.
And what were the modules like? I heard there's a long hallway and you go through a doorway and into the module, but can you kind of describe the layout?
Yeah, it's a lot of long hallways. It gives the appearance of being underground because there's no windows. They have gunners that actually walk above you. The ceiling is like a large gauge mesh wire type stuff, and the cops walk around up there with the gun so they can shoot down if they need be. There was 10 units on one facility and 12 units on another facility, C facility and D facility. They have the pod consisted of 8 cells, 4 on the top, 4 on the bottom, with 2 showers, 1 shower on the top, 1 shower on the bottom, and 1 exercise yard, which was just like a dog kennel with about 35-foot walls, concrete walls around it. The roof was half mesh and then half plexiglass, so you could stay out of the rain, because it rains a lot up there. And that was the pods.
Has there ever been a shooting up there from the cops?
Oh yeah, there's been plenty. they shot Todd Asper up there. I know when the cops popped his door with somebody else's on purpose, and then when they started fighting, the cops shot him.
Oh man, that's a story we got to get to one day. Let me write that down. And because I've never heard of a shooting from Pelican Bay. So they might just keep it under wraps, or depends on who it
Oh no.
Oh really?
Oh, there's been tons of shootings at the Pelican Bay. They had even during that real big riot, the blacks and the Southsiders. They shot one of the Southsiders in the head with the Mini 14 and killed him during that riot.
Oh, I think the guy's name was Sharky. I'm talking more about like shootings in the SHU.
Oh yeah, that's the only one up at Pelican Bay that I can remember with the actual with the Mini 14 was Todd. I don't recall if there's been other ones, but
okay. So, and when you guys get kites from the main line, is there a protocol? Does it have to go to a certain person, or if it lands in a person who holds a position of authority, how's that all work out?
I mean, we weren't really getting too many kites from the main line. It was pretty lockdown secure. Pretty much anything that was coming in was coming either through coded messages in the mail or through people's visits. The visits are behind glass, so they were non-contact visits, but your visitor could still bring messages. We weren't really getting like kites from the main line.
Did the police ever bring stuff in for people?
Oh yeah, there's always been that. It was a little more rare up there than in some places. Some places are, they're known for having looser staff, and Pelican Bay was known for having crooked staff, but not looser staff. They were more crooked in, like they would set you up or beat you up or something like that. Not really too much bringing you contraband.
What were some of the things the cops would do to people? For example, one thing I've heard, they actually burn someone to death with hot water.
Well, they didn't burn him to death. It was, I know which case you're talking about. They put a guy in scalding water and scrubbed his skin off with a wire brush, because he was covered with feces. He was one of the EOPs or JCATs that they had issues with. I think they cell extracted him and he was covered in feces. And so they put him in scalding water and scrubbed his skin off.
Jesus. And could you give some other examples of the things you may have seen or you heard?
I mean, I know when I got cell extracted, they drugged me by the ankle chain. I was on the second tier, and the stairs there are like they're metal stairs with the holes cut in them, like for traction. And they drugged me down the stairs by my ankle chains, and I was hitting my head on the stairs. Every when I would go down, I was having to try and hold my head up. And so a lot of the stuff that happened with us in the cops, it was during or right immediately following cell extractions.
And did anyone ever jump on the cops for the stuff they did?
Well, I mean, we never left our cells unless we were cuffed up. So there was there's a cuff port in the door. It's like a small door, probably 4 inches high by 18 inches wide, and they would come and unlock it, and you have to be backed up to it, put your arms through it, and then they would put handcuffs or waist restraints on you. So you never came out of your cell unless you were cuffed up.
And they're talking about bringing the SHU back. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I was in the SHU 24 years, and that's where I probably should have been. I was a one-man crime wave, and the SHU, there was nothing that was deterring me, and I think that that's right where I should have been. There was a whole bunch of people, falsely validated people and political prisoners, people that did lawsuits, that's what they would use to get them up there and hold them. But people like that should not have been up there. But there was some people like myself that, that was the proper place for me.
And I'm glad you brought up the validation, because do you think there should be indeterminate validation SHU terms brought back like they're talking about?
I mean, they're going to have to do something. If you look just statistically, as soon as the hunger strikes ended and they let everybody back out on the main line, the murder rate within CDC skyrocketed. So, I mean, they're going to have to figure out something.
And a lot of those murders happen on SNY as well. What do they do with those guys? Do they just start validating the SNY gangs and putting them in the SHU?
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
I mean, they're going to have to figure out what they're going to do.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, man. It's unfortunate the murders have gone up like they have. But I think that's all. Do you have anything more to add on the Pelican Bay? Maybe something I skipped over or didn't think of?
No, it just was a very lonely place. It literally was a tomb. You had no window in your cell. There was no window in the day room. The only light that came in was through a cloudy roof of the building. Skylight, they called it. You couldn't see through it, though. It was so cloudy. It really was a tomb.
Oh, man. It sounds like it. So, excuse me, that's all for the Pelican Bay episode. I think next we're going to talk about the Todd Ashker shooting. So, thank you for tuning in, and check back for the next episode.